Welcome to my channel, Joe's Astrology, and today is Easter, so I thought I would take a look at Pope Francis's birth chart. And it's very interesting, and let's get into it here. We have the ruler of the chart, the rising sign in Cancer. The ruler is the moon, and it's conjunct Venus in Aquarius. It's in the 7th house. This guy is interested in social programs. He's interested in um, taking care of the public with that moon ruling the rising sign and in Aquarius with Venus. And it's interesting because I remember when he first became pope, he was the Spanish pope who's uh, really interested in these like social programs and very on the democratic side of politics, etc. And they would equate it to him being this or that. This is the real reason why he's interested in social programs. He's got Moon and Venus in Aquarius, and Moon being the ruler of the chart there in the 7th house. So we also see Mercury's in the 7th house, and Jupiter's there as well, close. So we could say, and we have Saturn in Pisces, Jupiter there, conjunct Mercury in the 7th house. More indication that this guy is interested in taking care of other people. He's more interested in other people than he is in himself. You can also see the South Node in the 12th in Gemini. The ruler of that is Mercury, coming back to this 7th house. More about that Pisces. When I say taking care of other people as well, it is coming from that place of like where religious people usually come from. That Pisces place of like really empathizing uh, for other people, which really drives them to care about other people and to always want to help them. Like when you drive, it's like the guy who drives by, you're driving by the homeless person, and you have the guy who's like, "Oh, get a job," um, etc. Then you have the guy who will always stop and always give him money, no matter what anyone else says. That's kind of what this energy is like. We see the interesting aspect here with the Sun conjunct the North Node in Sagittarius, and Sun being considered, you could say Catholicism, Christianity being the um, Sun religion, and here he is. He's in Sagittarius with that Sun Jupiter, and it's conjunct Jupiter. It's a perfect combination for a pope. I mean, you couldn't get much better with that Sun North Node really uh, coming into fruition in this life as uh, become as being as manifesting as being a pope. We see this Mars in Libra. It's in the Aquarius decan, making a trine to that moon in Aquarius, and it's also making a trine to the South Node in Gemini. So we have this grand trine in air. Really more emphasizing on being a social person. You can also consider him very intelligent. And there could be a dark side to this. Many people would say, without looking at the astrology, but looking at the astrology, there could be a dark side to this chart. I'm not going to get into that at this point or today. I'm just going to focus on what's obvious to the public. Um, what's obvious to the public in general. He has Neptune here in Virgo in the 2nd house, so we can see his values. It's in his house of values. He really values spirituality, religion. And he has Uranus here on the MC in Taurus. This is a guy, could be considered in his own circles a genius, uh, somebody who's different. He may be, be considered different as a coming in as a pope. He's different than the typical pope. I've heard people say things like that early on when he became pope. You can see his part of fortune is in Taurus, and with Uranus in that Taurus, uh, this guy is known for luxury. And even though he may be pope and he is interested in other people, and I just saw him washing. He did his like annual washing of the feet. At the same time, he's sitting on a throne, surrounded by gold statues, and living in the luxury that is the Vatican City. A couple more things we'll look at here. He has Saturn and Neptune in opposition. So we see more of that in Pisces and Virgo, so there's that emphasis on Pisces and Virgo. And they're both squaring the nodes. So we see Saturn there squaring the nodes. And we've seen this with other charts. There's usually, with people who are interested in spirituality, religion, traveling, there's a major emphasis on the 3rd and the 9th and the 12th and the 6th. And we see that again in this chart. We see it by sign, Pisces, Virgo there. We see it by house with the Mars in the 3rd and the South node and the North node in the 6th and the 12th. So there is a need for him to resolve his 12th house and his 6th house. He's really, we're seeing this, I'm seeing this more and more when we're looking at charts. These people who are, who many would consider popular spiritual people, such as a lot of New Age teachers, a lot of religious teachers, like here with the Pope. I think I've seen this 3 times this week, where there's a grand square. And these people, they appear as if they have everything figured out about what's going on in the world and spirituality. And the reality is that they don't, and that their life is an example of someone who is, whether they look like they're trying to figure it out or not, their life is an example of a soul who is searching for, who is really searching for God and having a hard time figuring out the truth of the matter. See if there's anything else. I mean, there's some common. We can see some general stuff like Neptune and Mars making contacts, more associated with his, his drive towards spirituality, religion, being a priest, being a pope. Neptune could be associated with the priest or the pope. His Venus, Uranus in a square. You could say, with that Venus and Uranus and Moon with the square there in Aquarius, he's known for reaching out to people that are less fortunate, because people that are less fortunate or that have a lot of problems, mental problems, etc., could be associated with Aquarius. That could be something that he's interested in. I'm going to leave it there for now. Please like the content if you enjoy this, and subscribe to the channel. I have many other videos on other people's astrology, and I'll continue to make many more, striving to be the largest YouTube birth chart analysis channel. And I hope you have a great day and happy Easter.